if you just default to, well, I don't know what to do, then you're never gonna get anywhere, right? What is up, guys? This is Brett here from brettdev.com, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here on this channel, I talk about remote work, working online, moving to Thailand. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit the subscribe button beneath the video, and if you are interested in working online, then make sure to check out the link in the top corner of this video, because that will be very, very helpful for you. Right, so in this video, I want to talk about a comment that was recently left on one of my videos. So I made a video, I can't remember which one it was. I'll try and find it. If I can, I'll throw it up on the screen. And somebody basically commented underneath the video and said, Brett, I want to work online, but I can't because I'm not a programmer, so I can't do it, right? And then one of my subscribers, her name's Beverly, I think, basically, so shout out to you, responded to this comment and said, listen, mate, programming and coding isn't the only job you can do. Did you not know that, right? And it's like, newsflash, so many people believe that because they don't know how to code or because they're not programmers, like, oh, I can't work online, it's not for me. So that's what I want to talk about in this video today. The fact that you do not have to be a programmer or a software developer in order to work online, right? So to kick things off, I mean, out of all the people that I know that live out here in Thailand, I would say probably only 5 to 10% at most are actually like web developers or programmers or something like that. So that should give you some indication, and this is excluding people that are retired. Okay, so out of all the people that I know who are actively earning an income, I'd say less than 10% of those people are web developers, programmers. I came here doing web development. It's incredibly rare that I will meet another web developer out here, you know, unless I go and I hang out in the co-working spaces. But the co-working spaces is only a very small percentage of the overall amount of people that live out here in Thailand, right? And so I'd say 10% of people that I know do coding and programming, but I would say 80% of the people I know actually work online. So you may be thinking, okay, well, if only 10% of people code, then the other 90% must be working jobs in Thailand. That's not true. They all work online, but they all do different things, all right? Because you don't have to be a programmer to work online. A lot of people are going to say, well, okay then, Brett, what should I do? And I'm going to go through, give you some ideas for things you could do. I've got a lot of emails from people that are, I've had emails from people saying, for example, I work in the construction industry. I have no clue what I could do. Or, you know, work in fields that don't typically lend themselves to working online. And I'm going to give you kind of the responses that I send to those people. But before I do that, one thing I do want to make really clear, because I get this a lot and I see this a lot in the comments, is you need to not default to I don't know what to do. All right. If you want to work online, no matter what industry or what field that you work in, and whether that be because you want to move to Thailand or something like that, you cannot default to I don't know what to do. Fucking fly. Like, you need to think, you need to research, you need to use your brain. If you just default to, well, I don't know what to do, then you're never gonna get anywhere, right? If I was in an industry that was that didn't lend itself to remote work, like programming or graphic design or something like that, there are a few different things you can do, okay? So one of the first things you can do is you can just see if your employer will let you work remotely, okay? So this is how tons of people end up working online out here in Thailand. They just do their current job that they were doing in their Western country or whatever over here. So that's pretty straightforward. And it works, you know. A lot of people say, well, I'm not sure, or a lot of people say, my employer would never, ever let me do that. And they just don't ask, right? Like, I know loads of people. I've got a friend who I'm pretty sure he works for the NHS, who is moving out here. Christian, if you're watching this, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he works in the medical industry, and I think it's the NHS, and he just said to his employers, I want to move to Thailand. Can I do it? Can I work for the NHS from abroad? And I think they said like, yes, right? So, you know, if you didn't ask, you'd never know, right? I've got lots of friends that like, they would never have believed that their employers would let them work remotely, and they do. So your first bet is, if you're in a current job and you can do it remotely, then ask your employer if you can do that, all right? The second option is do what you currently do, but do it on a consulting basis. Okay, so maybe if, say you work in a position, you're not allowed to go remote, you keep that job, start up a little consulting business, a little freelance consulting business on the side, and start trying to pick up clients consulting. So you're doing what you already do, but you're doing it on a consulting basis where you advise. So I don't know, maybe you work as a health and safety manager in a place, in a factory or in the factory type environment, and you know, research, go on Google, you know, instead of going, I don't know, go on Google, research, are there people, health and safety consultants? Can you consult to other health and safety teams around the world on how to properly do health and safety, right? So do your job, but in a consultation capacity, and help people with those problems. And you can start up a separate business on the side as to what you're already doing, but you don't have to learn anything. You're taking your own expertise and you're just starting a little side business, a little freelance consulting business. That's another option. If there is no way that you could do it remote, then change your job roles to a more friendly, a more remote friendly role, right? So if you worked, for example, in the construction industry, and you know you're looking around inside of your business and there are people in that business that are in an office all day, do what they're doing. Start a side business, again, like a consulting type thing. Do what they're doing, and change your job roles. Not in your actual company, but start your own little separate freelancing business, your own separate side business, and just say, okay, well, Bob sits in the office all day doing this. I'm out here doing this. I'm going to start a little business doing what Bob does. You probably ask Bob what he does, if he can help you, and you start that on the side, all right? That's another option. Finally, if there is just nothing else that you can do within your current job environment that would allow you to do any of the things that I've just suggested, I would say, you know, a lot of people, they think because I need to work online, I need to deviate from what I know entirely. And then it's, oh, it's so difficult, I'm starting from scratch, I'm retraining. For example, right, so I had emails from a couple of people, and this is kind of what I would suggest, like I said, if none of these fit. Learn a small skill and apply it to your industry. Okay. When I coach freelancers, like in my freelancing program and things like that, most of them are trying to be like just a jack of all trades. They don't niche down into any particular industry and stuff. And it's crazy because if you work in an industry, you have a large amount of expertise in that industry. Yeah. So you could be in the landscaping field, right? And you know all about landscaping. So then you say, okay, well, what I want to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to learn how to do SEO and programming or some technical skill. And then you just drop all this knowledge you have and go over here. And then you just start trying to offer SEO and programming services to anyone and everyone, and wonder why this isn't working either. But you actually have the best of both worlds there. So say, for example, you're in the landscaping business. You know about landscaping, right? You know all about it. So you have connections in that industry. So learn a small skill, go off and learn something like Facebook ads or something like that. It doesn't take long to learn. You could learn Facebook ads in like a few weeks, like 3 or 4 weeks. You could be really good at Facebook ads, right? Go and learn Facebook ads, and then leverage all of the connections you have in this industry, and just, you know, keep your job, do this on the side. You've got all these connections in your industry, you know, you work for all these companies, you work for all these businesses, and run Facebook ads for the landscaping businesses that you know, for the owners of these companies that you know. That's how you get your start. So you become a Facebook ads dude, but you specialize in the industry that you currently work in at the moment. So just learn a small skill like Facebook ads, that will complement the industry you're currently in. Don't just completely abandon the industry you're in and think you have to go off and spend 4 or 5 years becoming a master genius of some tech field, because even if you do that, nobody in that tech space is going to hire you either. It's going to be a waste of time, because the key to actually getting clients and starting a freelancing business is to learn a skill, but it's not the skill itself. The skill is like 50% of it. The rest of it's marketing, and you need to be marketing it to a particular industry. Okay, that's really, really important. Like I say, I talk all about that in my freelancing program. So yeah, those are like those are 4 things you can do. I'm trying to give you some ideas here, because like I say, I get a lot of emails from people that are in obscure jobs, like that. People emailing me, I'm in the construction industry, and people are just, you do just default to, I don't know, or websites, I'm in the construction, can't do that, impossible. I need to go to university and get a computer science degree. No, you don't. No, you don't. Like I said, I'll go through these one more time. See if your current employer will let you work remotely to start with, because that's just pretty straightforward. Is there an opportunity for you to consult, maybe in your current position, for other companies remotely? You have to consult to the company you currently work for. Like I said, start a side business. Can you change your job roles to a more job-friendly, more remote-friendly role? And you don't have to have experience. You don't have to have, unless it's something that you must absolutely know. You're not doing it within your current company. You're not saying to your company, you might be down here in your company, and there might be a guy up here that's got a job that you know full well you could do, and he could do that remotely, and you could do that remotely. Like, if you go off and start your own thing on the side, you don't have to work your way up. You just start your own thing on the side, and then you become that guy overnight, right? So change your job roles. But the reason I say change your job roles is because you know about this industry, so that's beneficial to you. You can't do any of that. Learn a small skill, but see if that small skill you learn can be applied to your industry, because then you can leverage all of your contacts, all of your connections. You'll know how to market to that industry. Very, very, very important. All right. If you learn, for example, going with the example I used before, Facebook ads, and you're going to you want to run Facebook ads for businesses, you know how business owners in your industry think. You know what they're looking for. You know what they suck at. And that's another thing as well. In niche industries, like, I don't know, you might find in like the landscaping industry or something like that, you don't need to even be good at doing Facebook ads, right? Because if you look around your industry, what you might find is that nobody has a clue. So you only have to be a little bit good, then you become the man. You're like the go-to guy, but really you're pretty shit yourself. But it doesn't matter, because you're better than everybody else, right? So that's really important. Like, if you do learn a small skill, you don't have to become a master of it. Just learn enough and then apply it to the industry that you're currently in. But if you can, try not to abandon everything just because you want to work online and you've been working in your home country for a long period of time, doesn't mean you have to abandon all of those years of work and stuff. Leverage your knowledge, all right? Nothing should go to waste, and you should really try and merge the two. So yeah, that was just one example, or a few examples of how, you don't have to be a programmer, okay? Like, a lot of my friends that work out here, my friend Henrique, I did a video with him about the ASQ hotels a few weeks back. He does proposal writing, right? So he just learnt proposal writing. I'm not sure what industry he does it in, but now he writes proposals that companies can use to send off to get contracts for work, right? I mean, learn how to do proposal writing. It shouldn't take you longer than a few months, right? Buy 1 or 2 books on proposal writing, do a couple of test proposals, ask the company you work at, can I write a proposal for you? Let them send it off, do it for free. Do they land the contract? Wow, amazing. You're now a proposal writer, and you can do that for all different companies in your industry. Like I said, 10% of people I know, probably less than 10%, are actually programmers. The rest of the people I know just do stuff like that. They're like consultants, they're proposal writers, they are marketers, they do Facebook ads. All it is really is coming up with a solution to a business's problem, and then effectively marketing that solution to that business. And if you want to learn how to market your solutions to businesses, then check out that link. And if you want to watch another video, then you're probably going to really like this one. And that's all for me now, guys.